Coach Weldon, you know, you coming over from East Beauregard to Rosepine, not DeRitter, Rosepine. You know, what's that like coming over to be the head coach at Rosepine High School? Rosepine got a lot of history, you know, especially recently, not last year, but before that. What's it feel? What's that?
I mean, the great news is especially from being in the community, the Beauregard Vernon community for so long, you know, even as a player, I got to play against Rosepine, so I got to understand the traditions, the histories from that, and through, you know, one of my coaching mentors, Gordy Glazer, his relationship that he had with Coach Johnny Cryer, you know, I got to be a tag along, and I got to see a lot of that, and then from Coach Brad to Cody, you know, just his influence and him still being on staff has been wonderful. I can just tell you, it's time to restore some of the old traditions and get back to the way that Rosepine should be played.
Man, I love to hear that.
Yes, sir.
That good power football.
Good power, aggression, and they'll tell you, practice, I preach violence. We're going to get after it. I ain't going to preach anything else about wins and losses. I'm not promising anybody anything, but at the end of every game, they're going to know who they played.
That's right. They're gonna know when the Eagles came.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm sorry, I just get excited.
Me too.
It's football.
Yes, sir.
But Johnny Cryer, he was my head coach growing up. Brad Dakota, he was one of the coaches. I remember him back when he just came out of college.
Yes, sir.
And then, like you said, Gordy Glazer, you know, I know him from way back. You know, went to church with his dad, his grandfather, and his wife, and his whole family. So yeah, great group of big guys you just mentioned there. Rosepine is one of those little heart and soul of Louisiana. You know, it's a great little small town. You know, I brought Marcus there a few years ago, and I tell everybody Rosepine's, you know, population 500 includes 400 head of cattle. Mm-hmm. You know, and it really is. It's a small community, but it's a really close community. Coach, how has it been fitting into that community and getting to know all the people, the Churchmans, the Brewsters?
I'll tell you, just Rosepine in general, the people have just been so accepting since, you know, I came in. It's been hug, thank you, shake my hand. It's always been very acceptable. You know, it never felt like I was an outsider coming in, you know, and I've actually coached at places where it took me 6-7 months before I built up my reputation to be, you know, a part of their community. But Rosepine, from day one, it was open arms, you know, with everybody in the community, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. When people ask me, you know, where I'm from, I say Rosepine. I'm not, you know, just because I feel so blessed to be a part of.
Well, Coach, you brought two young men over here. I know these guys since they were young. So tell me about why'd you bring these guys?
They are the epitome of what Rosepine is about. They will play with a violent streak. They have a tremendous work ethic. Like Teddy, I'll speak on Teddy first. Teddy, he's always at the weight room. Like if I go up there on a Sunday, it's like, I don't know, I think he's got Life 360 on me, because next thing you know, I would get a call like, hey, you at the weight room? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm at the weight room. He's like, I'm on my way. Patrick's the same way. Both of those kids, they work tremendously hard. They are going to be leaders of our team. You know, we actually have a great senior group, you know, coming up. I could talk about Devin Janice, Jackson Carter, Caleb Priest. I mean, we've got such a great group of seniors that mean the world to me. These two have been with me since I got there, and you know, I'm a lineman myself, and kind of got a soft spot for linemen. So, and just their work ethic and things that they do. So,
well, Coach, you mentioned some of the players right there. Tell us about the offense. You know, you said you're going to have a power offense again.
Well,
you're going to bring that power old back.
I brought back Troy Gardner. Mm-hmm. Troy has been instrumental.
Okay.
In this program.
Great guy.
Like great. And like I can tell you, I've told people he is a blessing to have. His work ethic, everything that he brings, his help and guidance and the things, I couldn't do this without him. Mm-hmm. And Troy is going to run his offense, and you know, in his offense he has his SWAT formation. So we're going to have a lot of what you saw with Ethan Grant, and you're going to see a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And defensively, we're transitioning to a pressure 4-2-5, and you're going to see a lot of get after it.
You brought up Ethan real quick. Ethan was drafted last night, 80 something over.
80s to the Astros.
Yeah. So how's that for Rosepine?
I think it's great. Anytime you get eyes on our community, it's nothing but great for us. And, hopefully having a guy like Ethan Fry, if people could see the work ethic that he put in, not just, he didn't just come to practice and become great. It was, after practice, hitting sessions, going to lessons, doing this. And, these two epitomize that. They are not just relying on what they're getting done at practice. They are actually putting in the work after. And that's one of the things that I hope that, continues and it spreads like a cancer to the rest of our team. They'll see their work ethic and want to continue.
That's a good cancer to have, though.
It is a great one to have.
I heard a story years ago whenever Ethan was a senior. The coach at DeQuincy High School told me this story. He said that Ethan was out, they said it's playing in the state championships. Ethan walked out about an hour early, was patting the field, patting the home plate. Coach walks up to him and says, "Coach, what are you doing here? You should be inside sitting down." He's like, "I want to take care of my plate. This is my plate tonight. I'm going to take care of this." And that's kind of what what it's all about. When you look at these guys, how much dedication do you have to the sport? How much dedication you have to this game? And so I know these two guys pretty well.
Yes, sir.
And that's kind of the same kind of dedication I know those guys have.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much, Coach. Welcome to the Rosepine family.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So I'm excited. I'll definitely be in a couple games this year. So
Oh, we definitely have you a spot. You can even come sit on the sidelines with us.
I'm Andy Bryce for Good Football. Check out the Rosepine Eagles in 2025.